Welcome, everybody. The lesson this week is titled Distance Impossible. So, we've just finished the summer of 2020, and we've all been living our lives and trying our very best to maintain social distancing and do our best not to spread the coronavirus. For some of us who don't come in contact with large groups of people every day, this is very doable. You wear your mask, you wash your hands, you try your very best to distance yourself from other people as best you possibly can. However, many of us in this society just do not have that option. And this lesson is about talking about those situations where it is impossible to maintain social distancing and writing about the feelings and the situations that we find ourselves in. For instance, if you take the bus every day to work during rush hour, you cannot always maintain 6 feet of distance. You might not have a car, you might not be able to ride a bike to work, but you have to work, you have to feed your family. Maybe you had to travel over the summer. You had to visit someone. When you are boarding a plane, it is impossible to always maintain that distance. So try in your writing this week to describe that situation. What is it like when someone is standing too close to you and you are worried? You're trying your best. You want to get away from them politely, but you just don't have that space. Maybe for your job, you can't maintain social distancing. If you are driving Uber or Lyft, there's not always going to be exactly 6 feet between you and your passenger. You don't have to make physical contact because everything is done on the app, but you won't always have 6 feet in proximity from the other person. How does it feel? Both of you are trying your best to stay safe, but you have to go where you have to go and you have to make money. So we're going to describe a lot of these situations. In particular, you might be in a compromised living situation. Millions of Americans are in prison. It is impossible if you are incarcerated to maintain social distancing. The same can be said if you are living in a shelter, or you might be living in a subdivided apartment. Perhaps you are living in an apartment where you're sharing a room with another person. Describe that situation in your writing if that is what you're living with. So, what I'm going to ask you to do this week is first, by Tuesday, write a paragraph. What is a paragraph? A paragraph is essentially a group of sentences that is connected by the same point or idea. So when you're writing a paragraph, you want to begin with a topic sentence, then you want to fill it in with supporting details and a concluding sentence. So you're probably thinking, I already know this, but it's good to stay in practice, get back into the rhythm of writing comprehensive paragraphs. If you're going to write about your work situation, how do I maintain social distancing while I'm working in the supermarket and customers are this close to me? If you are writing about your living situation, start with a topic sentence, supporting details, and a concluding sentence. Now, what's a good way to use more vocabulary? If you haven't used English in a while, you might think it is impossible to have 6 feet of space from the people I work with. Well, what's another way to say impossible? Use a thesaurus. A thesaurus is a book of synonyms. Synonyms are words that mean the same thing or are similar to other words. So here we are in orange, we have synonyms of impossible. If I put the word impossible into thesaurus.com, I might have absurd, hopeless, impractical, insurmountable. The more you use a thesaurus, the more you build your vocabulary and make your writing and your speaking much more rich and comprehensive. As well, you can use a few idioms. An American idiom comes from a 1961 book, Catch-22. Catch-22 was written by the author Joseph Heller. Joseph Heller wrote about a fighter pilot in the Second World War who wanted to get out of the war. And he told a doctor that he was feeling anxiety and that he was mentally unfit to fight. But when he told the doctor he was feeling anxiety, the doctor would then tell him that this was a natural feeling and that proved he was not insane and was perfectly fit to fight. So this was called a catch-22. You want to tell the truth that you're not ready to fight, but if you say you're not ready to fight, it proves you are ready to fight and you have no choice. This is an American idiom. When you're in a situation, what we might say, damned if you do, damned if you don't, that's a catch-22. If you drive an Uber and you're maintaining, so you're supposed to have 6 feet of space, that's a catch-22. If you are living in a shelter and you have to have 6 feet of space with the people who are 2 feet away from you, that's a catch-22. Another way to say this is a contradiction, a paradox, or a mixed message. These are all phrases you can use in your writing. To give you further examples, I'm going to show you some street signs. Tell me what's a mixed message about these two signs together. Tell me how this might be a contradiction. And here's my favorite. Clearly, this sign has been drinking. All right, I hope that gives you an idea about the assignment. Remember, write a single paragraph and submit it on a Google Doc. Follow the instructions in the Google Classroom. And if you have any questions at all, please send me a private message. Thank you very much. Happy writing.